having a bros night already has that reputation of like it's gonna get messy, like people are gonna be cheating on their significant others.
Hello everyone,
thanks for joining us this week. Yeah, we are very excited to give you guys some updates. So
yes. I feel like your update is a lot more exciting than mine.
Maybe.
Mine, I don't know. It was a very LA week.
Oh, okay.
Ran at the Santa Monica boardwalk.
She ran.
I ran.
She runs.
And then I gotta use the Hokas. But I gotta put the Hokas and the Apple Watch to use. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Which I was pissed off because I did a boxing class and I was so sweaty, like in the boxing glove, that it like stopped itself.
No.
Yeah. So it stopped and then it started like a random cycling class. And then when we were like on the floor for like a ab workout, I saw it and I was like, grr, because it kept buzzing. But I just thought my friends who I share the activity with were just like completing their workouts.
Right. Giving you notice.
Yeah. But anyways, did that, went to the Grove, went to Little Tokyo.
Oh.
Just like little, like, dates, with my boy. But I did not know I did not know the Grove had like a huge upgrade.
They had an upgrade?
Yeah.
It's been the same for like the last 12 years, no?
The last time I went, Lulu hadn't opened. So it's been that long since I've gone. Okay, so
big upgrade, aka Julie's favorite store opened at the Grove. I think you're biased.
Well, and then, my new, also like kind of up their store,
Aritzia.
They're like next to each other. As they just kind of, they knew, they just knew I was like coming, and then they was like, you walk in and it's Zara, and then it's Topshop, and then it's Lulu, and then it's Aritzia. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They said, great. Be better. We're going to cater to Julie.
Exactly. They're better. And the pop-up that switches out kind of often. But so I think there's a Diptyque actual store, right?
No?
I think there's a store there now too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And they had another pop-up.
Oh,
so it was just like, the Grove was a vibe. It was just great.
Okay, maybe you just need to have more LA days.
Yeah, and then what my boyfriend said as soon as we got there, or like we're going, and the first thing I kind of remember him saying is, "Oh my God, they have a cheesecake factory." I think Canadians have a thing with cheesecake factories.
Oh, yeah, Drake.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And then I saw TikTok too. Funny enough, and they were just saying like, why do we think the Cheesecake Factory was like this fancy place when we were in high school?
Because it was, dude. Their portions were ginormous.
I mean, it's still ginormous.
No, they shrunk by like at least 3/5. It pisses me off.
That's a lot.
No, Cheesecake Factory portions were like 3 meals worth, and now I'm like, I don't even have leftovers to take. Like, it's so sad.
Unless you get whatever is popping off on TikTok, that Louisiana chicken on the Caesar salad with grilled onions.
Ooh, I'm all about them lettuce wraps.
Oh, I've never had a lettuce wrap there.
Oh, that's so good. Mm-hmm. It comes like with like a mountain of lettuce,
but clearly, maybe a hill of lettuce.
yeah,
because you don't have any leftovers, so definitely not a mountain of lettuce. Probably like a little.
You're right. Just a little whoop.
Yeah, a little hill of lettuce.
Yeah. But it's just a glorified walk.
Exactly. So yeah, I just had a very like LA week.
Oh, okay. I think I also had a LA week in the sense that I went out every single day this week. Kid you not.
Okay.
My entire schedule was just packed
of going out,
meeting new
that
people. And so I like feel like I'm back almost.
Yes.
And it's like crazy because I know that I'm an extrovert, but I didn't think that it affected me this much because I'll go to these hangouts, meet new people. Like I was like hysterically laughing, like crying at one point. Good. And then I like came back and I couldn't sleep because I just was so pumped up, like so much energy.
Interesting.
Yes. So I'm definitely in my extrovert era.
Yes.
And speaking of, we actually went out to General Lee's. Yeah, if you guys haven't heard of it, it's in Chinatown, and they just have like such good vibes, good music. Great. Their drinks are strong, right?
It's definitely worth the price. But who knows, maybe if you're lucky, somebody will buy you your drinks for you there.
Oh yeah, because we had that happen.
It was a very like Hana place, you know.
Dude, they were playing all the hits. I got my Yay Area on.
You know what I was thinking? I was like, oh, I'm gonna need to like get that DJ for my there's no wedding, you guys, but like if I were to have a wedding, I would need to get that. I just thought the music was so good, like a good mixture of like the hits like nowadays, but also the throwbacks, and like it doesn't reach the pet peeve level, but you know when you're out and they play the song for too long, like it's done, like hurry, change it up, but also when you're getting into it and they change it up, I feel like he is so good at the longevity, the timing of the songs. It's like spot on.
Transitions on point. I believe his name is Min.
Okay.
So he plays on Fridays sometimes. I heard that Fridays are the only good days though.
Oh, okay. We went on Friday. We went on Friday. Yeah.
So vibes were there, and actually Joyce and Allie totally know my type. And so there was this guy, and he was wearing a hat, he had like this flannel shirt on, and they were like, oh, Hannah would like him. And so I had like come back from the bathroom, and they're like, Hannah, look at that guy. And so I like, you know, sneakily turn around, and I'm like, oh shit, he's cute, he's so cute, he's like dancing with his friends. His friends are fun. And so we basically like go outside and make a game plan. It's me, Diane, and Allie outside, and they're like, Hannah, you need to talk to him. And I was like, you guys know how I get when like I have to like talk to guys like in this like non-date setting. Like I get really nervous, like I don't know what to say, like what do I do? And so we go back in, and then the DJ starts playing Mo Bamba, Sheck West, and I was the only one out of like 9 of us to dance like a crazy person. Like I was going off every song. My jean jacket was fully wet.
Okay, let me just say though, I felt like General Lee's, it's not like ratchet. It's not. I wouldn't necessarily categorize it as ratchet, but it's like, but it's not like casual either, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I walk in and it gives me like, oh, cool kid vibes. Like, oh, it like not like cool kid as in like they're standoffish, like truly the cool kid. And so it's like you can't be like
ratchet.
Like it's not like a ratchet, but I feel like maybe it's the Koreatown. The very little Koreatown in us, because it's not in Koreatown, you know, like, but we represented the Koreatown, you know, in Chinatown.
Yeah.
And so nobody was really dancing like you though. Okay, maybe like a select few. Like honestly, less than 5.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was less than 5. It was me and 4 other people.
Yeah.
And so this song comes on, right? And so I was like, oh, he's like getting into it. So I like turn around and I'm like, hey. So we're like playfully dancing, and I was like, ee! And then like I saw like Allie give me a look like, oh, she's going for it. And then it just so happened that like a friend that I haven't seen in a really long time walked in, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so I like walked away from him, and then after that happened, I was like, shoot, did I mess that up? Like did he think I like just wasn't interested? And I was like, oh my gosh. And then even worse, this other girl like swooped in and was talking to him. And I was like, damn, I really messed up, like whatever, I'm just gonna like have a good time by myself and whatever. And so I continued dancing, and then Allie's like, Hannah, turn around, he's not interested in her. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm pretty sure he's like buying her a drink. And she was like, no, turn around. So I turn around, and he's like moving away from her, like moving towards the DJ. And so I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, let me just like, you know, like have fun. Allie is a great wing woman. Her and Diane, it was power duo, because they were so sneaky. They were like dancing with me, but like pushing me back towards him. And so I had no choice but to be near him. And then Teach Me How to Dougie comes on, and he goes, oh, I know you know how to Dougie. And I was like,
wait, you said that?
He said that to me. He goes, I know you know how to Dougie. And I was like, no, I think you need to show me. And so we start Dougieing together. We're Dougieing together.
Oh my gosh.
And like the song passes, and then I was like, oh, like what's your name? He tells me his name. He's like, what's yours? And then he goes, oh, like are all your friends in relationships or something? Like, why are you having the most
Wait, pause.
fun?
And this is, I think, when I noticed that you were gone. Because I was like, where's Hannah?
I was by the DJ doing my thing.
Oh yeah, so you definitely got. I mean, I don't think he saw me, but I definitely did a little
with your wide
one of these. Yeah, I was like,
yep,
I'll be settled. But anyways, okay.
And so we're like asking each other questions. He goes, are all of your friends like in relationships or something? And I was like, yeah, they actually are. Like, it's just me and like one other person. And then there's like kind of a pause, and I go, oh, what about you? And you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is the moment, like the truth about to be spilled. Truth was spilled because he goes, oh, I actually have a wife and a child. Playing it cool. I was like, oh, cool. How old is your baby? And he goes, 6 months old. And I was like, oh my gosh, so cute. In the back of my head, you're so fake. Oh my gosh, so cute. And in the back of my head, I'm like, why are you out right now? Right? Yeah. And so he proceeds to go, oh, do you want to see photos? And you know me and my baby fever. I have hella baby fever. And so I'm like, yeah, show me some photos. He shows me photos. So cute. His baby is so cute. And I go, oh, I see the resemblance. His baby looks like
Can you teach me? Can you teach me like how to not wear my emotions on my sleeves? I think if I heard I have a wife and a baby, I'd be like, I truly think my response would have been, oh. What the heck?
Yeah. And so I was shook, obviously. And then I like, and so the night proceeded. It was kind of towards the end of the night. So we like took photos, you know, had a good time. And like, it's so funny because when you zoom into our photos, you see him with his head down in every single photo.
He knew.
Yeah. And so, guys, this is not the first baby daddy that like there's been some like random connection with.
Should we change that?
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a stepmama just yet.
Yeah. Okay. But talking about being out.
Why was he out? Yeah.
Well, that's the big question here.
Right.
Maybe we'll have him on the pod after you meet him and the whole family. Maybe we could ask him then. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, why he was out with a child at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
But how do you think his wife felt? If she felt any type of way?
Dude, I don't know.
Maybe she didn't.
Yeah, maybe she didn't. But I know that if I were her, I'd be like, hell no, I'm not gonna be home with the baby by myself.
Especially what, like, I don't know, is it 4-month-old baby, 6-month-old baby?
6-month-old baby.
Okay, 6-month-old. Yeah, especially with a 6-month-old baby. I'm not sure if I wanna be taking care of the baby at midnight.
Exactly.
Alone.
Exactly.
And ironically, one of our listeners asked, yes, nenzz, Nenzz, is it wrong to get mad at your partner for being out at 4 or 5 a.m. without you? Or to feel FOMO with your partner?
Okay, yeah, because obviously this happens. Obviously people with girlfriends at home, boyfriends at home, wives, husbands at home, be going out on the town.
And so when I first heard this question, I don't know how old this baby daddy is, and we're not going to be ageist here. Okay, so this is just general speaking, but I feel like 4 or 5 a.m. nights are very rare to me.
In your youth
yes,
at 24,
which I am in my youth.
I know, I clarified that just now.
Yes. Yeah. 24 and under, you guys. But this question I think is really, really tricky because I think it depends on like how often it's happening, where you invited, who is he out with. Yeah. And I'm going to just say he because I'm going to, speak as if it was like from my perspective type of thing.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Like were you invited and you just chose to sit out of it,
right? Or were you invited and felt like it was like a pity invite? Like there's so many different scenarios that we have to like take into consideration, and so
exactly,
let's run through them. I mean, with our friend group, like I think it's super duper common to see that like significant others are almost always invited. Like I feel like even when there's a group chat with just the girls, it's like, oh, can so and so come, and it's always like, yeah, like come through, unless it's like like one of our like 2 holidays that we like choose to do only girls, I feel like the norm in our group has always been, bring your significant other. I mean, people in our group have been dating like 5 years, 10 years. All my friends are in relationships, so they don't dance with me. So that's what the norm is.
Wait, which I will plug in. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he got that, like it was like context clues. You know what I mean? Like we were all sitting down. I do feel like I danced a lot though.
Sitting in your chair?
Yeah, but it was like it was like an upper body. It was an upper body workout type of day.
Okay.
I think I had too much like sunubu before. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I had a really fun time. I almost fell off my chair a couple times. You know, I shooed a girl away because she was like so close. I could like feel the frizziness of her hair on my back because I was wearing a top. And it was kind of gross because my top, like the lower half was open. Right? It was like
I'm imagining her hair on your back.
Yeah, and like so I'm actually facing like you and baby daddy, and Priscilla was facing obviously me from the other side, and she later in the car ride told me that they were going at it. like she was like, oh, like they were going at it. Like
they were the other 4 people.
Yes. And they really brought out that inner ratchetness, kind of like she was just telling me they were like you might as well just act like you're in the bedroom. She just said that they were really going at it. But to go back, I don't know, would you say that we also just invite our significant others because when we do have events like as a larger group, including our guy friends?
Yeah, I think so. I think because we have like a co-ed group.
Yeah.
And so I guess like one thing you guys should take into consideration and ask yourself is like, what's the norm in your friend group? What's the norm in his friend group? Like, are other girlfriends being invited?
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so you are saying it's a norm in our group, but I guess if I had to compare it to my significant other's group of friends, I would say ours is not like as inclusive.
Oh.
Or maybe it's because we don't get together as much as a larger group.
Right.
Like my significant other's group of friends truly celebrates everybody's birthdays.
You actually go to like 2 birthday parties a month.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a lot. And I mean, I guess it's their way of expressing like, you know, gratitude and love to their friends. But I swear each of them have at least a 2-part birthday.
Damn.
Like remember, like my boyfriend, I did a surprise. We had dinner at Boiling Crab with a select few, and he didn't know there was that surprise at his home. So he was like, "Oh, why didn't we invite so and so? And why didn't we invite so and so?" Because he knew of the dinner.
Oh.
And then there was like another surprise where we had Lala's the next day with just the roommates.
Grill, yes.
Yeah, so everybody gets like a 2-part surprise, and for that, it's always like the group of friends plus their SOs. Damn. So like for example, like yesterday's dinner was 15 people, and that honestly wasn't even like with everybody.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, like what's the norm? Because I've definitely met my boyfriend's friends like dates when they like weren't even official yet,
right?
Or they would bring their girlfriends around and they've dated for like a couple weeks, maybe a couple days, right?
Yeah,
so it's like very normal for them to like bring their partner with them and introduce them to literally everybody.
Damn.
Yep, I remember. I think that's kind of how I was introduced too.
Oh yeah, I feel like you got thrown into the deep end early. Yeah. You know what? Now talking about it, I feel like I really planned it out. Like, you know, like a really thorough onboarding. I feel like my boyfriend had such a great onboarding plan. Like I was like, okay, meet so and so first. All right, get a vibe of like a little snippet, like a little taste of the group, and then we'll do 2 people, and then add in like another set of a couple, and then boom, like you can meet everybody. Right, because then you have like a basis, a foundation of people that you can talk to. Yeah. Because you've already established that relationship with them, right? On the first meeting, second meeting. Yeah. And so on. So I would definitely say my boyfriend got a good, like, you know, if you have to compare like an established corporate onboarding. Right. And I think I got like that the startup. Yeah. I got like the startup introduction. It's just hear all of the people that you need to know. Hear the people. Yeah. Boom. And so to kind of wrap that up, it's funny because at first, you know, when you're kind of new to the group, like you want to get to know them, so you want to be invited, you go through that phase. But then at one point, I think it became a little too much for me. So I think you have to just kind of like realize honestly what you're comfortable with Yeah.
Because I'm meeting these people. I don't necessarily want them to have a bad impression of me. So like, can I present myself the best?
Right.
So then you got to weigh it, right?
Right,
like,
right.
Do I want to go and am I going to have a fun time? Or would I just like miss
right
and be okay with like what I'm missing out on?
Right. Yeah, that brings in like the FOMO part of things. And then also like, yeah, I mean, to move on to our next point, like you're being invited, but it's also like your choice as to whether or not you want to attend.
Exactly.
I mean, to tackle like the first part, like, are you being invited? You know, like, are there going to be other girls there? Is it a boys' night? Because, you know, guys, like, they just like kind of need to go out and like just like be stupid together, you know? Like,
or even like us too, right?
Yeah.
I think just like naturally there are stories that are going to be shared. There are topics that are going to be talked about that feel more natural and comfortable, like organic, when it's like just the girls or like just the boys.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we already established that, you know, our guy friends or like, you know, dudes, men, boys, like don't really talk about relationships at the level that we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but if they do, like, I would want them to just have kind of a, this is not me being selfish. Maybe it's because I would want that reciprocated, like a girls' night. That I'm totally fine with the boys having like a boys' night.
Yeah. No, I think like even like when I think about my parents, you know, like my mom always said like we don't have as much. We'd never had as much communication modes like as you guys do. Like we were paging each other, and so it was kind of like you do your own thing. And so like even when I like think about my parents, for example, like they never had as much communication modes as we do now, right? Like they were paging each other. And so it was like, you do your own thing so that when we come back, we actually have something to talk about, you know? Because when you're together 100% of the time, like, you know, those couples that like go to dinner and then they don't talk.
Oh, yes.
Because they know everything that's going on. They know everything about each other. And I think that's kind of sad, right? And so we have to have like separate experiences in order to like come back and share, right? Like share some exciting news.
Yeah. But I've definitely encountered couples that aren't like that though.
Right.
So I think that is very interesting. I mean, I think I am the type of person, maybe I'm like somewhere in between. Like, I think I used to be a lot more like independent, like let's do our own things. Because I do believe in, you know, distance makes the heart grow fonder. But it's just because like, you know, you become, or you're used to what you grew up with, right?
Right.
And my parents are kind of like that. I think your parents are kind of like that too, right?
Yeah.
Like your mom has her group of friends, and you know I've heard some of the stories, and you know my mom too. Like she has dinners. I swear it sounds like it's every single week, but it's once a month where they go out, and like there have been times like my dad had to pick her up, type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes my dad goes like a very very few amount of times,
Right.
But it's usually just like the girls, and that's just kind of what I grew up being used to.
Right. And so that's going to impact like how you kind of see relationships too. Yeah.
But I don't think my boyfriend is too like that. So I've definitely moved in the scale.
Oh, like more towards him.
Yeah,
Okay,
because I used to be so like, let's do our own thing and then like
come back
together and we'll have so much to talk about. So then that made me think every time we had to get together, there had to be an event, there had to be something like fun to do, there had to be an activity. But now I think I understand that like sometimes we can just like be together and not talk. Like we can just do our own things and appreciate that we do have the opportunity to give each other a hug like once an hour. Acknowledge each other's presence while we're doing our own things in the same space.
Right. Like it's nice to do like the mundane together too. Yeah. Like do your work, like get your workout in, whatever it is.
Yeah. But yeah, we brought this all up because, you know, like your parents said, sometimes you need that time apart. So going back to like the bros thing, right? Like how I would appreciate, like sometimes when you're having a hard time determining like if you're bothered by it or not, I just like to think of it like place yourself in that person's shoes. Right. Yeah, like maybe it's a selfish thought, but like I would want that. Like,
right.
I would want my partner to be okay with me being out with the girls, like, and just us.
Right.
And maybe we'll be out until like 2 a.m. like at a club. Like maybe, like I don't think it's, for me, I can say like it probably won't be extremely common.
Right.
But when it does happen once in a while, like I hope he's okay with it.
Right.
So then if I expect that from him, then I should be okay with it too. right?
Right. Because I think a lot of times, like in relationships, it can go like towards like having a double standard, right? Like, oh, I'm allowed to like do, you know, a girls' night, like wine night or go out or whatever, but like you're not allowed to because like I think that, you know, having a bros night already has that reputation of like, oh, we're gonna get like wasted, like it's gonna get messy, like people are gonna be cheating on their significant others, but that's also the extreme, you know, the very extreme version. And so
so then I think of two things, right? Like if you do feel a type of way when he is out with just the bros, like why do you feel a type of way? Right? Why do you feel the type of way? And are the bros that he's hanging out with people that you know, people that you've met, people you've been introduced to?
Also, like people that you trust, because oftentimes, you know, like you're the average of the 5 people closest to you, and so if you don't like his friends, I think that you need to like really take that into consideration, because like he is like his friends most likely, right? Like these are the people that he's being influenced by, whether that's consciously or subconsciously. And so you need to like
like, you know, that friend where like they're such good instigators, you know? Like, oh, you tell yourself, oh, I'm not going to drink too much tonight. But they're just like, you know, like, I mean, is that their fault? I don't know. But they're just like, come on, just one shot, just one shot. And then next thing you know, you're like blacked out.
Yeah.
Right. So like stuff like that. Like, do you know that type of information?
Right. Because the people around you are going to influence you in good ways, right? To like work out, eat healthy, whatever, but also bad ways. Like, you know, when people start like smoking nicotine around me or whatever, I'm like, oh, that's a bad influence, you know? Like, it's hard. And so, you really need to take into consideration like him and his friend group. Like, it's important that you actually know them. I would hope that like he's introduced you, right? Because sometimes there are situations where like the girlfriend will like feel like she's being hid, right? Like she's being kept a secret. And if you feel that in your gut, I think that you need to do something about it.
We'll pull up and let's just spy. I feel like at this point we're like queen of spying. So why don't we just do that?
Yeah, just pull up. Just, you know, you probably know where their location is.
Exactly.
Yeah. They may not know it, but
and if you don't follow it on or if you don't have it on like Find My Friends, you can find it via Snapchat.
Also, I did. I had to turn it off. Also, I'm pretty sure you could set something on Google Maps if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because you know how it tells you where your like car is parked? This could be a lie. Oh, okay. I could be completely
but when it does that, it's so creepy. And when I hop in the car, I'll get like like from my boyfriend's or from your place too. Oh, traffic is heavy to home.
Like it knows where you're going. It knows. Yeah. It knows. It's so creepy. It's so creepy.
Yeah, because the only 3 places I go are my house, your house, and my boyfriend's house.
I feel special. That's all I do.
Well, and then I think I had saved your address before my boyfriend's. He was like, oh, like, why is mine behind Hannah?
I'm the priority.
But I love what you said about like, do you feel hidden? I think that's a red flag.
Yeah. You know, us people and our gut instincts, there's a reason. You know, it was built in for a reason.
I hope my boyfriend doesn't mind me sharing this, but I think a recent like life lesson of his is that your mom is like never wrong.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, and I would go as far to say a girlfriend is never wrong too. Like there's nothing bad coming from listening to your girlfriend, I think. And I'm not talking about like trivial like every decision.
Right.
But I think a woman's intuition is pretty on the dot.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty on the dot.
I completely agree.
In terms of like people reading, especially people reading, like
especially with the opposite gender, or the same gender, especially
same,
like your boyfriend's opposite gender, right? Your boyfriend's girl friends,
girl. This is why I love there's a Korean word. I don't know if it's like still being used because the Korean language is just like updating itself all the time. But that's why there's a term like 여자 사람 친구, right?
Oh,
it's a girl person friend. You know, because like in English it's so difficult sometimes, and you're just like, oh, she's like a girl friend, right? Not my girlfriend,
right?
I guess you could say female friend. I don't know.
Yeah. What is the other term?
여자친구.
Oh, what is 여친구 then? Isn't there 여친구?
여사친 maybe? 여사친? Is 여자 사람 친구? Because you know Koreans are so good at shrinking words.
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
pretty sure it would be 여사친.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, let's just go with that.
Yeah.
If it's not a thing,
Yeah.
Korean language updating
just,
itself.
Yeah. We created it here if that's not a thing already.
But yeah, no, I mean, speaking of like going with your intuition, you know, how would you feel if your boyfriend is going out, let's say one-on-one with one of his girl friends?
I'm gonna be really honest. Like I'm just trying to place myself in that situation. I think I'd be bothered.
Okay.
Because the question, right? The topic question is if he's out at 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not sure with like who, right? So if it's with his roommates, I actually don't mind. And the thing is, I don't want to say, okay, like, because you know what? The fact of the matter is, even when you're married, you're learning so many new things about your partner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But as for kind of his daily habits and routine, I feel like I kind of know like what he does on the day-to-day basis.
Right, right.
And knowing him, and if you guys think I'm all about efficiency, he is king.
He's mega efficient.
Exactly. He's mega
Yeah.
efficiency, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it actually makes me really happy when he takes out that time to hang out with his friends because I'm gonna be really honest. Like for me, I like to remind him that there is more to just like your career. Like sometimes he's like too invested, and not because like it's because he truly loves it,
Right.
But sometimes I have to be like, okay, like go, just go. It's like 1 hour, it's 2 hours, right? When he's grabbing dinner with friends. So if he chose to go out until like 4 or 5 a.m. with his like bros, I think I wouldn't mind that.
Right.
Because I also don't want to be dating like a guy who like doesn't have any friends.
Right.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Yeah. You want them to be social.
But if it was with a female friend, I guess it's questionable. Okay, it's questionable, but also how much is he communicating with me throughout all this?
Right. Like, is he like leaving you on red, like not responding to any of your texts? Or is he like, oh, we just got to the restaurant. Oh, our food is coming out late. You know? Like, is he giving you updates? Is he thinking about you?
And I have to be really honest, when my significant other is out and is drunk texting me, I love that. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, because I guess it like tells me that he's having a good time. Like he's maybe a little drunk.
Yeah.
Like just enjoying himself, but he's also thinking of me. Right? So it's like I feel like I know he is thinking of me because he is texting me.
Right.
So
like I run your world.
So I don't mind that. Like you can text me all you want.
Yeah.
But like I said, if it's like a little sus,
Oy.
why would I feel sus? Why would I not like that?
Is it dependent on the girl?
Probably. Most definitely.
Yeah, because that's the deciding factor. If it's a girl that, you know, has given an effort with you and building your guys' relationship outside of him, I think it's better, right? Whereas if it's a girl that like you just get snaky vibes.
But I guess like, okay, this is hard to speak about because everyone's relationship dynamic is so different.
Yeah.
And if we had to touch upon my type of guy, right? We touched upon yours already, baby daddies. Mine are kind of like, I think we've said this before, a bro type of guy.
Yeah.
Like honestly, he's probably not talking about music and fashion and the arts. Like he's like a little nerdy, a little like loves sports. And so the general close friends are like typically like other dudes.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so hard for me to imagine, because if this female was so important that he had to like not communicate with me for a couple hours, or even if he took the time to hang out with them until 4 or 5 a.m., like that's why it's sus to me. Because I know from the start my boyfriend isn't even the type to be out at 4 or 5 a.m.
Okay, I have a follow-up question then.
Okay,
let's change the situation a little bit. Apart from the 4 or 5 a.m., what if this girl is having relationship problems and chooses your boyfriend to be the confidant? How do you feel? He's like, so-and-so is like bawling right now. Like she doesn't know what to do. She says, I just need a guy's opinion. And he has to go over and like they're talking for like hours on end, and he can't text you because like she's deep in her emotions. How are we feeling?
See, I just laugh because like he's so not the type to even like, he is the type to have 250 messages unread, right? And so it's funny because we were walking as a part of like our LA-ish like, you know, week. We were walking around the UCLA campus and we were just talking about our first date. And then I'm so happy that my messages don't delete anymore, because I had set it to 30 days, but now it's here forever. So I was able to pull it up just by some keywords. Yeah. Right. And yeah, like he definitely used to be the type to respond to me like once at 10 a.m. and then once at 5 p.m. Oh, right. So he's definitely one of those dudes where there was that switch once he was like super interested. Like, yeah, like I get texts every hour. Like throughout the entire day. Right. So I just can't even imagine it, because I hope he would laugh at this part, but I would think he would choose like working out over that. Like I think he would.
I think you would be getting notifications on your Apple Watch.
Yeah, like I really think he would choose like, if it's a close female friend going back to like I know her and she's in a relationship and I do not categorize her as a snaky person, I would definitely think it's fine. Okay. I definitely think it's fine. And I hope he would even confide in me like, oh, I told her this. Like, do you think that helped? Like after the fact. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And I was like, oh, maybe you should also tell her and like text her, blah, 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 blah.
Right, right. So you feel like a part of the conversation. Yeah. Like, you know, like he's pretty transparent about it.
Because I think him and his closest guy friends have discussed that, let's be really honest, the things you share with me, I hope you know it's like between me and my significant other. Yeah. Because it's kind of true, right? So in that way, maybe I'd be like involved in that conversation, not like, oh, let me run it by Julie. Like, no, nothing like that. But I think, yeah, you'd be stupid to think that the significant other doesn't know anything, because
I mean, honestly, I love getting updated on drama, especially when I'm not involved. I love it so much.
Yeah, this is all it's kind of difficult, like I said, because it's all hypothetical, right? Right. I mean, like, how would you, same boat? Like, would you feel exactly the same?
I think I would feel pretty similar to you. Yeah. Like, I like to think that I'm a good judge of character, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I like to see, like, the best in people, but also, like, see them for their true colors. And so depending on, like, how many times I've met her, if she gave me a bad first impression, like, what the deal is, then, like, I would hope that, like, I maybe even consider her as a friend, you know? And so that, like, if anything, like, what, she could come to both of us. Like, it could be a group, like, coming from a couple rather than just one person's opinion. Yeah. You know? And so, I think I would hope that, like, we have established a relationship already. Yeah. Yeah.
All that to say, do you feel prioritized in the relationship?
Ooh, right? Yeah, that's the big question.
Yeah, like, is he even, like, should he even be giving other people dating advice? Ooh. If your relationship isn't, like, you know, doing too hot? Yeah, it, like, all truly comes down to, I think, trust. And, you know, this sounds so cliche, but it's like you guys are one. Yeah. So, like, let's kind of go through all of them again, right? Like, if he is out with the bros, why is he... Like, why do you feel like weird about that? Right? Because if you haven't met the friends, why haven't you met the friends? Like, I feel like there's a lot of questions, right? And also, if he's out at 4 or 5 a.m., is this like a one-time thing, or is this like a every single weekend? Oh, God. Every day? Like, if it's every day, should you be asking him why he's going out every day?
Yeah, are there deeper issues you're dealing with?
Yeah. Exactly. And, like... I just feel like all these things, like, there are follow-up questions to all these things,
because I feel like it really comes down to, like, the foundation that you guys have built. Exactly. Have you built, like, a solid relationship where you guys communicate the important things? Like, have you had conversations about, oh, if you go out with your friends, like, yeah, just keep me updated. Like, I just want to make sure that you're safe, right? Yeah. Like, shit happens. And so, like, I just want to know that you, like, got home okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I think that, like, one thing that I definitely do as an overthinker is, like, I will get 1 or 2 pieces of information and create an entire story around it, right? Like, oh, he's going out with his friends. That means that they're probably going to do this. There will probably be girls there. Like, and if I'm feeling insecure, like, that day or just in general, like, am I going to be projecting that, like, oh, he better not be talking to other girls, like, you know, better not be, like, sending playlists to other girls and all of that stuff. Like, I will create an entire scenario in my head when in reality, like, I haven't even asked him, like, you know, to, like, communicate these things.
Exactly.
And so I think it's important to, like, not feed into like all of our like thoughts. Like they're just thoughts. Like you don't need to like put them into action if there's like no basis for them.
Yeah.
Because like I think even like you know, us people in our dreams, like have you ever fought with a partner because you had a dream about them like what, like doing you wrong?
I know my partner did. I didn't. My partner did for sure though.
Yeah. And so like, you know, sometimes we could even bring our dreams into reality. And so I think we just need to like watch out for that and like make sure that you have like built a foundation that you're like proud of and like trusting in.
Yeah. And then I guess the kind of the second part of the larger question was, do you feel like FOMO with your partner? And I think that too, you know, we talk about it. I never want to be that girl who like is never available for her friends because I'm like glued to my significant other. I'm not sure if you're in a healthy relationship if like you feel FOMO.
Oh.
I only say this because it all ties together for me. When I visualize it, when you're dating, like you should definitely prioritize. Like that's why you're in the relationship. You're not in a relationship to put the person on the back burner.
Right.
And you guys are just, I don't know, friends with benefits or, you know,
you just call it that.
Yeah, you're just friends.
Yeah.
So it's, to me, it's like, yeah, like you're in the relationship and you are one, supporting each other, should be prioritized and there should be trust. But at the same time, you don't want to lose your sense of who you were like prior to the relationship too. You know what I mean?
Right. Because it's like about like being independent, but also like next to each other.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like when you think of, okay, look at a tree and it's like the roots are your upbringing type of thing. Right. And like you guys, let's just say you're the opposite sides of the tree trunk.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess this doesn't really make sense if you're like thinking of the tree like 3D, but I'm just like thinking 2D on the paper. To make the full tree, you need the two sides of the tree to like a flourishing green, healthy evergreen. You know what I mean?
Evergreen, yeah.
Yeah, like two separate, like, and you make each other stronger like that. I don't think you have to be the same person, like glued to each other all the time.
Right.
But I think like the deeper roots should align to like make the tree strong. You don't have to like be like a package all the time, I think.
Right. Like you should be able to like show your true colors, right?
Yeah. So I think that too, there's so many follow-up questions. Like if you feel FOMO, if it stands for fear of missing out, like what are you fearing?
Right.
And if you are fearing that he's going to be too flirtatious with the other girls, or the girls that he's hanging out with are flirtatious, or he would pick up like bad habits, who is instigating like those habits, right? Like, are they friends that you've never met and only heard like crazy stories about? Like, you know, yeah, my friend, like, yeah, like he or she's cheated on their significant other multiple times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's a deeper question of, does this person make you feel unsafe?
Ooh.
Right? Like kind of living on the edge, like, oh my God, like how is he going to hurt me? Hurt me meaning like emotionally, right? Like emotionally.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know, like, why are you so concerned?
Yeah, especially I think like speaking to like those of you with maybe a more anxious attachment style, like I think that like there needs to be work done on your part, but also their part, right? To make sure that like he's creating a safe space for you, but also that like you're not basing all of this on nothing, right? Like if you're bringing baggage in from a past relationship, or like you just like have these wild thoughts that you run with, like you need to ask yourself like, oh, like let me make sure that I'm putting in the work, and you know, like it's that independence within this like cohesive relationship.
I love that.
Yeah
I love that.
Yeah.
And a very recent discussion my boyfriend and I actually had was like, a lot of times I won't express like why I'm upset because I'm trying to determine if I'm upset or not.
Oh.
But he actually said, well, if you're trying to determine if you're upset or not, you're clearly upset by it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So it's not, so I think I was like tricking myself and thinking like that I was trying to determine it when it was actually giving myself time to just like get over it by myself.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it just ends up being like me telling him days or weeks, honestly, maybe a month later, oh yeah, I was upset about that, blah, 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 but I'm okay. Right?
Yeah.
So I think you mentioned it, but right, communication. Maybe this is a year of communication, you guys. Like I do think it's like two people's responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Like I think communicating that you had experienced that, and so that's how you are feeling, would help your partner at least like hopefully he or she's trying to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It might be like, oh, well, it might be maybe the action item falls under like you needing to fix it, but at least they are aware that's why you are responding that way or feel that way towards the situation.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I love that. I love that so much. Yeah. So in conclusion, I think that, you know, every situation is different. So like ask yourself like what you can be doing in the relationship to like make sure that all of this is communicated.
Exactly.
And just making sure that you're like secure and independent within this like loving, safe, foundation built relationship, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Hana. Yes. Yeah. And you know, I would love to be out with my significant other at 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah, just party it up.
Yeah.
Just invite yourself. Just invite yourself if you aren't
maybe
being
you
invited.
coincidentally. Oh, I totally forgot you were out here and with a couple of friends. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
that is it. Thank you guys for joining us on another week of bulgogipod. You guys can find us on Instagram and TikTok at bulgogi.podcast, on Twitter at bulgogipodcast, me on Instagram at HANAKATTT,
and me at BEJULIFIED.
1, 2, 3.
Ooh.